Many people have been understandably assuming that at some point we will see the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy team up to fight the villain Thanos. However, according to Guardians director James Gunn, that may not happen. In a recent interview, Gunn said the following: "We're trying to make Avengers affect it as little as possible. We really are separate from the Avengers, and I don't think people should assume too many things about the Guardians' play in all this. We have our own galaxy to take care of. We have our own galaxy to save. Earth is the Avengers' province. Thinking that everything is going to come together in a perfect way is not necessarily the way it's going to happen." Schnepp, what do you think of Gunn's comments?
I absolutely love his comments because for me, it's like reading the Marvel comic books. Yeah, it's all part of the same universe, but in certain ones, you're in another galaxy. You're all around the world. There's the Inhumans, there's the Avengers, there's in the comic books, Fantastic Four, all these different groups. Sometimes they meet each other, but most of the times their adventures are on their own. So I like that he's saying, hey, just whatever happens in Age of Ultron doesn't necessarily it's not gonna have a giant effect on Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe it'll have a little, like a scene crossover or something, but I'm all happy. Let's just get another galaxy going, you know?
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I think that James Gunn is really good at two things. He's good at making films and playing the cards close to his vest when it comes to the future of his movies. Yeah. Because I was even here when you guys were talking on this very set, and he said that before the first Guardians came out, he was like, well, you know, we didn't necessarily leave room for a sequel. This is just going to be a one-off, and then we'll see what happens. Then you watch the film, and you're like, no, clearly they wanted this to be a franchise. I think they will link up eventually, but I think it could only hurt his film and that franchise to say, oh, yeah, no, we're definitely going to have a team up right now. There's going to be a crossover. Pay attention for Easter eggs in Age of Ultron. Right. You don't need to do that. Eventually, I think it will happen, but you don't need to get the fans all roused up right now about that. Let Avengers have its thing. Let Guardians 2 have its thing. They might link up later after that.
I got to buy his comments, and I like his comments and where he's coming from. I mean, obviously, there's a fanboy part of me, as in all of us, that would love to see like the whole Avengers crew and then the whole Guardians of the Galaxy crew hook up. I mean, how cool would it be to see the Hulk and Drax side by side, beating up some things, whatever things you want to make him out that to be. But it's also understanding that this is a big universe. Not everything has to cross over and one has to be with the other. And I like how it says, look, Guardians of the Galaxy, we got to take care of the galaxy. Earth is the Avengers, providence. They can look after that and deal with that. But it raises another issue for me. Whenever people start talking about, an X-Men film or an upcoming film about this or this, inevitably the boo birds come out and start saying, it's getting too crowded. There's too many characters. You're going to ruin it, blah, blah. But yet, when you say, let's take the Avengers, which already has, however many of the characters, and then let's take Guardians of the Galaxy and let's talk about bringing them in together. Where are the boo birds then saying, no, that would be too many? They're not anywhere. Or this whole idea, but like even carrying that over to the whole issue of do we get Spider-Man back into the MCU? Oh, let's put Spider-Man in that movie too. Where are the boo birds then? Everybody's saying, oh, too many characters, until it's one of their Marvel favorites, and then it's, oh no, that's totally a good idea. Put everybody in there together. And it raises that one concern and issue I have about these shared cinematic universes again, which is, what happens is, now everybody asks the question, when Iron Man 3 comes out, everybody's on the internet. Why didn't Captain America come and help him? Why didn't, Dr. Banner come and help him out as Thor or as a Hulk? Why didn't Thor come back and help him? And now you're going to start hearing those questions with every single standalone movie. Why didn't Tony come and help Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier? Clearly he was in trouble. Why didn't he call him? And now it's going to be, why didn't the Guardians of the Galaxy come and help the Avengers fight Ultron or help them come and fight Thanos or whoever else? And it's like, fans are just going to have to accept different characters, let them have their own things, and they don't always have to cross over in every single movie.
But the best answer is because they're doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, just like in comics, they used to show little cutaways. Like, meanwhile, like Spider-Man's fighting Dr. Octopus. Like, that's why these guys aren't here, because not only they're not in the same state, but they're also they're having their own lives and their own adventures.
Yeah, so. It's a toss-off line. I don't think you necessarily have to write your entire script around why Iron Man isn't showing up, but it's a lot easier to have a lot of heroes in one film than it is a lot of villains. I think that's when the boo birds come out the most. It's like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, when you're cramming all these
Yeah.
villains in there, and you don't need them. Heroes, the more the merrier. Let's have one huge villain, which is what Thanos is. So that's when they could all team up.
Yeah, it
And
seems
then-
that's obvious. In Infinity War 1 or 2, they're going to cross over. So.
And again, it's a matter of not how many characters there are, it's about how you use them, right? Because X-Men Days of Future Past, not X-Men Days of Future Past, I'm sorry. Well, X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men First Class, how many villains were in those things?
Yeah, two, three.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
easily.
4,
Yeah.
5, 6. If you look at like how many bad guy characters are actually in it, there's a lot of them, but they used them right, and so it didn't feel bad, right? So the Amazing Spider-Man, or the first set of Spider-Man films, Spider-Man 3 had 2 villains, and that felt like way too many, you know? So who knows?
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.